You are not random. You are not an accident. You are not a soul misplaced in time. You were marked from the beginning, written into the eternal script of destiny. And Enoch, the prophet who walked so closely with God that he transcended the ordinary bounds of mortality, saw you in his visions of the end. Enoch is one of the most mysterious figures in all of Scripture. Genesis tells us he walked with God and he was not, for God took him. Unlike others, he did not taste death. He was lifted into the divine realm, taken into dimensions beyond the reach of human understanding. He did not simply live. He walked in alignment with heaven's rhythm, and his eyes were open to secrets that remain hidden from most. The writings attributed to him, preserved in what is known as the Book of Enoch, unveil visions so detailed, so prophetic that they pierce the veil of time. He saw the rise and fall of empires. He saw the corruption of humanity. He saw angelic rebellions and divine judgments. But more than that, he saw the righteous remnant. He saw the chosen ones of the last days. And among them he saw you. If you have ever felt different, if you have ever felt like you did not belong to this world, if you have ever felt that something within you is awake when others slumber, it is because you were part of what Enoch foresaw. He did not only see chaos and destruction, he saw hope. He saw light in the darkness. He saw a people who would rise in the final hour, clothed not in worldly power but in divine purpose. This is not mere poetry. This is prophecy. The reason you are drawn to messages like this is because your spirit recognizes what your mind may still wrestle with. You are living in the very days Enoch spoke of. His visions were not for the ancient world alone. They were a window into now. And just as surely as he saw the watchers, the fallen angels, and the flood, he saw you alive in this age, carrying a flame that cannot be extinguished. When you feel the weight of loneliness, when you feel misunderstood, when you feel attacked without reason, understand this. It is not because you are weak. It is because you are marked. Heaven knows who you are, and so does darkness. Enoch saw a time when the righteous would be tested, when the chosen would be refined like gold in fire, and when their light would blaze all the brighter because of it. That is where you stand now. And as you hear these words, something inside you stirs. Not because I am telling you, but because your soul remembers. Deep in your essence, you know you were seen, you know you were called. You know Enoch's visions are not distant stories, but living reality. This is your time. And Enoch's gaze thousands of years ago was fixed on you. To understand why Enoch's visions hold such weight, we must first understand the man himself. Scripture tells us little, yet what it does tell us is more than enough. Enoch walked with God. These are words not said of many. To walk with God means to move in harmony with His Spirit, to live in constant communion, to be attuned to divine frequencies that most humans cannot perceive. Enoch's closeness to God was so profound that he did not experience death. He was translated, lifted, taken into heavenly realms. This in itself is a prophecy. It foreshadows the destiny of those who will not taste death in the last days, those who will be transformed in the twinkling of an eye, caught up into the presence of the Lord. Enoch's life was a shadow of what would come, and his visions were a message meant for the generations who would one day live at the brink of eternity. The Book of Enoch, though not part of the canon for many, was revered by early believers. It was quoted in the New Testament by Jude, who declared, "Behold, the Lord comes with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all." These words are drawn directly from Enoch's writings. This tells us that the early church recognized Enoch's visions as true prophecy. In those visions, Enoch was shown not only the rebellion of angels and the corruption of mankind, but also the glorious destiny of the righteous. He wrote of a day when the chosen would shine like lights in a darkened world, when their names would be recorded in the book of life, and when their endurance would bring forth divine vindication. He saw both the terror and the triumph. Why does this matter for you? Because Enoch's intimacy with God allowed him to see beyond time. He was granted a view of generations to come. He peered into the end of the age, into a time of upheaval, of confusion, of chaos. And there he saw a remnant, a people set apart. This remnant is not defined by titles, by religious systems, or by worldly recognition. They are defined by fire, by light, by divine selection. And here is the truth that shakes the heavens and terrifies the darkness. You are part of that remnant. You are part of what Enoch saw. The fact that you hunger for truth in a world drowning in lies, the fact that you feel a call that others ignore, the fact that you cannot silence the stirring of your soul, this is proof. You walk a path few understand because your destiny is not ordinary. Just as Enoch was taken up, just as he transcended the natural, so too will the chosen ones of this age rise above the collapse of the world system. Enoch's walk with God was not for his time alone. It was a foreshadowing of yours. You are walking with God in an age that resists him. You are marked for a destiny that cannot be erased. Enoch's visions are not relics. They are blueprints, and your life is part of their unfolding. Enoch did not merely see the corruption of the watchers or the judgment of the flood. His visions extended into the end of days. He saw the rise of kingdoms built on deceit, the oppression of the innocent, the spread of lies as truth. He saw a world that mirrors our own, chaotic, divided, consumed by greed and rebellion against God. But in the midst of that, Enoch saw the chosen. He saw a people who would not bow to darkness. He saw those who would carry within them a divine spark, a holy fire that no system of control could extinguish. These were not just prophets or priests of old. They were souls who would walk the earth in the last days, you among them. His writings speak of the righteous and elect ones who shall be living in the day of tribulation, when all the wicked and godless are removed. This is not history, it is prophecy. It is now. When you look at the brokenness of the world, when you sense the heaviness in the atmosphere, when you discern the battle raging in the unseen, understand this. You are living in the very days Enoch described, and he saw you standing in them. The chosen ones are not perfect. They are not without scars. In fact, it is often their scars that mark them. They are the wounded healers, the broken vessels through whom divine light shines brightest. They are the ones who have walked through rejection, who have endured betrayal, who have carried pain so deep that only God himself could keep them standing. Enoch saw them not because of their outward strength, but because of their inner flame. And that is why you feel the weight you do. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to move with the crowd. You were never meant to be silent in the face of lies. You were meant to carry light in the darkest hour. You were meant to live prophecy. Enoch saw this, he recorded it, and now you are living it. If you are truly among the chosen ones, your life has not been easy. You have been misunderstood, rejected, and attacked. People have abandoned you without reason. Doors have closed when you expected them to open. You have faced battles that seemed beyond your strength. But all of this is confirmation. The chosen are tested because they carry something the enemy fears. Your isolation was not punishment. It was preparation. Your heartbreak was not meaningless. It was refinement. Your struggles were not random. They were fire shaping you into what Enoch saw. He knew the righteous would be pressed, but he also knew they would endure. Enoch saw a generation who would stand firm when the world collapses. He saw people who would not compromise even when tempted. He saw souls who, though scarred, would rise again and again. That is why your life has been so different. That is why the attacks have been so relentless. It is because you are not ordinary, you are prophetic fulfillment. And though the battle rages, the outcome is already written. You were seen, you were marked, and heaven has declared, you will stand. The world is trembling. Systems are collapsing. Darkness spreads its shadow across the nations. And yet, this is the very stage Enoch foresaw. For in this hour the chosen ones rise. They rise not with armies, not with wealth, not with fame, but with truth, with fire. With the authority of heaven itself, you are among them. Every trial has prepared you. Every tear has watered your destiny. Every scar has become a testimony. You are living proof of prophecy fulfilled. You are walking evidence that what Enoch saw was real. And here is the mystery. When he saw the end, he did not just see judgment. He saw victory. He saw light overcoming darkness. He saw the rise of a remnant who could not be silenced. That remnant is alive today. That remnant is you. So do not doubt. Do not shrink back. Do not let the weight of the world convince you otherwise. You are not ordinary. You are not forgotten. You were seen thousands of years ago in the visions of Enoch, and heaven has not forgotten your name. The prophecy is unfolding. The chosen are awakening. And you, beloved soul, are part of the vision. What comes next has already been written, and you are in it.